Welcome to the Well Seasoned Librarian Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 6. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Donna and Julia from Feline Farm. They host a variety of products on their farm for sale: pies, jams, vinegars, soaps, and they also have a podcast called Farm Chatter. I really enjoyed getting to talk to them. It was a very lovely chat and very informative as well. So hope you enjoy it as much as I did recording it. And here we go, and on our way. Welcome to the Well Seasoned Librarian Podcast. Today, I'm speaking with Donna and Julia from Feline Farm, and I'm really happy to be talking to both of you today. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, tell us what part of the United States you're in, and how is it right now?
We are in East Central Illinois, so right in the heart of the Midwest, and it is very hot and humid.
And has been raining most of the day today.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good. A little rain's not bad, though. I mean,
Yeah, we needed a little.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if you don't want any, send it our way. We can always use it in California.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
think you need some.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us, for those who are coming to the podcast who are not familiar with Feline Farm, tell us about the farm and what you guys do there.
Sure. We started at farmers markets and sold produce, and we're beekeepers, so we had honey. And Julia's a great baker, so she does baked goods and jam, and we make our own balms and soaps, and of course cat toys, all kinds of different things. So
we started that about 6 years ago as an outlet for excess produce and just the other kinds of creative things that we wanted to do. And after the middle of last year, a couple of things led to a change for us. One was the pandemic and needing to really kind of change how we did business. But then also, it's really tiring to set up a farmer's market each week and load all of your product, tear it all down, bring it back home. So we have a mercantile on site now, and we moved all of our operations to an on-site store.
Oh, nice. And how's that worked out?
We're doing very well. We're about 9 miles from the next piece of civilization. So we didn't know if people would come out to the farm. And they do. We're surprised, and we just keep growing. We had kind of gotten to the point at the farmers market where, our customer base was as big as it was going to be, because same customers, which was great. But we have a whole new customer base now.
Yeah, I've seen the response on social media seems to be very positive, and you guys seem to interact with people quite a bit. I like to watch what you're putting out on a weekly basis, and I'm always kind of jealous. I wish I could pop by and get some of this stuff. Like, I saw you post English muffins the other day, and I'm like, well, I would come by and buy all of them, I think.
They're good.
Yeah, the fun part about the baking and the English muffins is we have just recently been able to access a local mill, and we can now get all organic and local flours for all of the baked goods.
That's
so
wonderful.
You would not believe the change in the final product. It's noticeable to our customers who, are just consuming. And it's certainly noticeable to me as I bake it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love hearing that, because from talking to previous guests, I'm hearing more and more about people using local mills and using local produce and local mills and local flour. And that to me is so exciting, because I don't think we would have seen that like 20 years ago. It's really kind of
I don't think so either. Yeah.
Now, you produce the food on your farm, but you also mentioned the honey. Now, tell us about your beekeeping and how that came about for you and what you've kind of learned from the process.
Actually, I'm a gardener. I'm the gardener part. Julia's the baker. And I was really interested in honeybees for pollination. And I just thought it was kind of a cool thing to be a beekeeper, wear the suit and the whole thing. I just kind of thought that would be cool. And Julia wasn't really that excited about it at first.
Yeah, and I have some cousins who were beekeepers, and they let us come down and help them harvest honey one season. And then we took a couple of beekeeping classes, and I really got interested in it then. So now I do most of the actual beekeeping.
Most of it, yes.
And
wow.
I really, yeah, I really came
weird?
around. And the thing for me that really changed was feeling secure within my bee suit, that I won't get stung. If I do, it's not much.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be with the bees. They're just fascinating little creatures. And then to be able to harvest the honey is just an extra bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a very small garden, nothing like what you guys have, but I have a backyard garden, and I love going out and watering in the morning and watching them just crawl over everything. And sometimes if I splash water on them, they'll come like out of the flower and like glare at me like, "What are you doing?" But they never give me, I've never been stung, they've always been really nice to me. I love, they're almost very serene. They're peaceful. It kind of calms me down to watch them.
Absolutely.
It does. And right now, all along the garden, we have mint, apple mint, spearmint, different mints that's in full bloom. And it just is buzzing and alive all day when you go out there. It's really cool.
Now, how does that affect the flavor? Do you guys have, like, depending on what you're growing, does that affect the flavor of the honey? Like when you grow mint, does it grow like affect like kind of a minty taste a little bit, or?
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
It's different. It's not minty, but we have a lot of herbs. We have a pretty good size herb garden, lots of herbs all over the property. We have 5.5 acres. And we had one year that was primarily herb, pollen and nectar. And it was the best honey we've ever had. And it didn't taste like herbs. It didn't taste like mint, but it was just really good.
Yeah, I love trying different types of honey and seeing what they taste like. It's really kind of magical to see the different colors you get and the different flavors from it. Yeah, it's just, I like when I go to farmers market and somebody has something that's unique. I'm like, oh, I got to try that. I want to get that.
Yeah. Oh, I do it too. Yeah.
So you also produce jam, infused vinegar, soap, and even scones. Tell me more about your other products and what you've learned by creating different things.
Well, we have a lot of wild blackberries. That's kind of where the jam started. And that's just been a bonus because wild blackberries have such a just much better flavor than tame blackberries, the big thornless ones. They're not as fun to pick. Donna does all the picking.
Yes.
But then to do that jam and just have that just mouthful of pure blackberry bursting in your mouth. I love doing that and having that. So we've just been looking for any of those value added products that we can add into our line of what we offer. And then this year was adding the infused vinegars. I think you saw that through a gardening website.
I think maybe Mother Earth News, maybe. Maybe.
And so we're just like, hey, we can do that. All of the food that we sell, not the produce, but all of the baked goods, jams, all of that is under a cottage food operation. So I don't have a commercial kitchen. We do that in the home kitchen.
Right.
And that was one of those things that is allowable under a cottage food operation. So we added that, and people are really picking up on that. It's really selling well.
Yeah, we have about 22 or 23 fruit trees on the property. And so right now we have peaches in the basement. I've picked about 30 pounds of blackberries so far. And so we have those ready to process, and we have apples and cherries and red raspberries. I'm still harvesting those, and those will go into jam. And so people that come to the farm can see where the food is grown. And I don't know, that just really takes it up a notch. The freshness, knowing the people that are growing it and picking it and processing it. I think that just really adds a lot of appeal to what we do.
The other thing that we talked about on our podcast that released this morning is being here at the farm and customers coming here. We've been able to add some additional service. So this weekend, I was chatting with customers about tomatoes. We're in peak tomato season and how they like to, eat those. And they were talking about basil. Well, about that time, Donna walked into the mercantile and she said, "Oh, would you like some fresh basil?" Could go straight to the garden, snip a fresh basil for them, hand it to them. And that's something that we can't provide at the farmer's market.
Nice.
I know you picked some fresh salad mix for folks this weekend.
Eggplant.
So because we're right there at the garden, the garden is next to the mercantile building, it's easy to do that and provide that extra level of service.
And it makes me really happy to do that, to be able to just add a little bit more joy to their food. And I don't know, we're kind of all about food. So
well, I know the people that garden always are very generous and like to share what they have, especially if it's turning out really well. People really love to share. So I think that kind of is like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially you have something unique, something like, oh, I have this certain kind of mint, or it's always nice.
Yes. Yeah, we've during the Kentucky Derby time, we had people that were going to have some parties, and so what is it, mint juleps?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so we were able to we had one customer that came and said, "I need enough mint for 10 people for mint juleps." So it was so cool. I could just go out and harvest it while she waited. And she sent a message to us and said those are the best mint juleps I ever had. So it made me feel really good, and it makes us feel good to be able to do that for customers.
Now, what kind of soaps do you guys produce?
We do a lot of different ones. Now, we start with a soap base. It's just a lot easier to do that. I don't want to mess with the lye and all that. So we have cocoa butter, mostly goat's milk. We do a lot of that.
Oh, nice.
We do some olive oil base shampoo bars. And so we just kind of started that as, we wanted some soap for ourselves.
Right.
And, I like to make all the different colors and shapes, and we only use natural coloring for them, and do a lot of unscented, some scented, but we've done some special order soap, and that was fun to do for a special event. And, so that's just, I needed something to do in the winter, and that's kind of where that got started for me.
Yeah. Nice. So hence the name of your farm, you have quite a few cats. Can you tell me about the cats that are on your farm and some of their personalities? I'm a cat lover, so I love asking this question.
Oh, excellent. And we love talking to cat lovers. When we first moved to the farm and to this property, we did have 5 cats, and it kind of started as a joke. We were installing like the new internet system and the Wi-Fi router, and you have to name your Wi-Fi router. So we named it 5 Feline Farm, and it kind of stuck. And now we're even known as the felines. The confusing part is people want to give us cats or think that we're a cat rescue. But it has become a way to initiate conversation and really talk about the name and how we got that name. So we've gone through different periods of time where we've had 2, 3, 4. We do have 5 again now, and they range from one of the original charter cats, Thumper, who is 20 years old. and down to the newest member, Ivy, and she will be 1 in September. They are all either cats that just appeared on our doorstep, or we've rescued from shelters.
Lovely. Yeah, I love cats so much. We have 9 of them at home. So.
Oh, wow.
Woo, you got us beat.
Yes. Yeah. 5 is our limit.
Yes.
And a lot of people, we get offered a lot of cats, and, they forget that we're public, and, we have 1,000 people offering us cats. Obviously we can't take all the cats we're offering. We love them. Yeah. And, but we know our limit in terms of, what we want to manage. With healthcare, and
yes, we make a lifetime commitment to them, and they will live out their lives. They have it pretty good here. Yeah. They have about anything they could want for, but just to balance, feline personalities and our needs to be outside, be inside, even get away from the farm once in a while. We've just decided 5 is the maximum that we will take on at any given time.
Yeah, we didn't intend to have so many, but people have been abandoning them around us, and we can't say no to cats. You can't just let them starve. So, I mean, we've been taking in a lot of rescues and stuff. So,
nice.
You have 2 books titled Simply Delicious and The Long Road to Market. Can we talk about that? And then there's another one I want to speak of as well, that you helped one of your cats write, Honeybee Comes to the Farm.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have been a writer for as long as I can remember, and have decided to really focus on that. And so combining cooking with writing, it was a natural segue into Simply Delicious. That's a collection of recipes that I have developed for myself. They're not, just reprinted or anything like that. And adding some of the stories about, because I always like to hear stories about why people cook the things they do and how they came to develop different recipes. So I included that in that book. That was the first one that I published. Our books are self-published, or as we like to refer to it, 5 Feline Farm Press.
Yeah, nice.
And, why not? And, I really don't have that desire to go the traditional publishing route. That's not something I'm, need for myself. I'm all for it if other people want to do that, but it's not something I care to do. So I'll just self-publish. And then the next book, The Long Road to Market, was really about our experience in joining a farmer's market and really joining this rural community, and being part of that and finding a place of belonging in that community. Of course, then, as soon as you start writing books, you have a cat on your lap. And then cats need to write books.
Right.
So,
we needed a children's book.
We needed a children's
and we
book.
had a new kitten. So, and she was just as cute as could be.
Oh my goodness, she's a doll.
And she was smart. So
yes. So we collaborated with her. Donna also does all the photography and all the marketing for the farm. All of that social media stuff that you see is all her doing. If it were up to me, no one would know we were here. So she manages all of that, but also did all of the pictures. And then we collaborated in that children's book that we had Honeybee author.
Now, has being a published author gone to Honeybee's head at all? Is she insisting on star treatment?
It's like so many of our customers. I mean, we have 5 cats, but so many of our customers, and we had 4 at the time, so all of them are in her book. They all have a small part.
All right. So this is the last question. I hope it's kind of a fun one. If the 2 of you could invite up to 10 people from history or current times to dinner, who would you invite and what would you serve?
As we were reading through the questions and preparing, I love this question.
It's a great question.
It is a wonderful question. And, we're like, all of a sudden we can think of no historical figures. There are none. But we decided really kind of at the same time, we would invite some of our family members who have passed on. And I'm currently working on some articles and then another book about recipes that my mother, who has been gone for many years, and anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I'm discovering her through her recipe box.
Oh, nice.
So we would invite her. And we would invite your grandma, who I just made her spaghetti yesterday for a family event, and your great grandma, who was a gardener, my grandma, who was a gardener. And we would bring those family members to the table and serve them those comfort family food, as much from the garden as we can, and serve it in a upscale, beautiful way. And then ask them questions, about what they ate, what they liked, why they liked those things. So it'd be this just enormous family dinner with laughter and questions and talking over each other and all of that.
That sounds wonderful. Love that. I really would look forward to seeing you publish your newest book, the one about your mother's recipe cards. That sounds wonderful. That's right up my alley.
Great. Yes, I love reading your articles on Medium. And,
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So when you reached out, it was like, oh yeah, cool. I told Donna, I said, hey, this guy's got these cool articles. So I'm hopefully, I don't know how soon it'll come out, but it's in the works.
Great. I look forward to having you on to talk about that book specifically.
Yeah, wonderful. That would be great.
Well, thank you both for being on the show. And I want to also put out a plug for your podcast as well. Is that on Spotify and iTunes?
It is on iTunes and Spotify. It's called Farm Chatter.
Very nice.
And posts every Monday morning. So we may have to see about interviewing you for our podcast.
Anytime you want, anytime. I'll be glad.
That would be great.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I will be listening to Farm Chatter. Thank you very much. Well, I want to thank you both for being on the podcast. And thank you. And I hope to have you on again. It's been lovely talking to both of you.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
I hope you enjoyed talking to Donna and Julia from Feline Farm. I really enjoyed talking to both of them, and I hope to have them on the program soon again. They were lovely. Tune in next week. We'll be talking to Lisa Steele from Fresh Eggs Daily. This is a YouTube channel, a website, a series of books, and much more. She also has a TV show. She was a wonderful person to talk to, and I got to learn a lot about chicken production. So please tune in next week to talk to Lisa Steele. Until then, keep cooking.